Aha, tuli mu parliament kirino kissa kinegula anti amawulire agakajjawo mu parliament Joel Ssenyonyi gatankudde parliament yakutte ensimbi mu didi bwe guti wamu n'abakulira ekisaawe eky'Ennambole Ministry ya Sports nabawo omusambwa essente omusambwa bagwadde ssente gubakkirize okuzimba ekisaawe kino okuggwa mbu tekibadde kyakutuukawo ekituuse singa omusambwa guno tegwasasulwa naye bw'owulira ensimbi ze bawadde omusambwa omusambwa mugagga kasita tulabe ku mbuzi y'omusambwa parliament engeri gye yawadde omusambwa emaali.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. First of all, yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me this chance, and I hope that means I will respond to this. Because I'm on a record in the Committee of Budget, stopping money for Nambole at that time. But I want the Minister to come out clearly, to tell this House, and to go on record, whether in Nambole you are doing renovation or facelift. You should tell this House, because people might be impressed by what they are saying.
We have a report.
At the 80 billion. So inform this Parliament whether you are having renovation or there's a facelift at Nambole. Thank you.
We have a report by to that effect from our visit. Yes, a clarification.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, yesterday when you were in Nambole, one of the revelations that came out from your interaction related to compensation. There is a gentleman called Fred Kakoza, who is in my law firm, claiming that actually a couple of people around have never been compensated. And that in itself also offends the CAF regulations regarding construction of stadia. That is an allegation out there, Minister, that you need to pay attention to and provide some clarification on the status of compensation around Nambole. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. So you're compensating them for building in their land or for encroaching in government land? Okay.
Madam Speaker, first of all, I would like to begin by thanking you for coming to check on the progress of the renovations of Nambole. They've been expecting, I received formally the letter of the leader of opposition, and I was in Nambole waiting to receive the right honorable leader of opposition with you yesterday. But I want to thank you, Honorable Mathias Mpuga, Honorable Geoffrey Kanya, and other colleagues who came to check on the progress of the work so far done. I also want to confirm, as per last evening, the management of Nambole informed me that they had received the balance of the 17.7 billion, which we have been awaiting for the last 6 months. So, Madam Speaker and the Honorable House, want to thank you for the commitment we have all put in to ensure that the Ministry of Finance releases that money. To now answer the questions of, to begin with, I still want to go on record that I, through the Ministry of Education and Sports, we are the ones who facilitated the CAF inspectors to come and carry out inspection. Why? We are aware that the contractor has gone to the last phase of the renovation of the project. I want to thank them for identifying some of the areas which, as the minister and as a client, we are working towards addressing those specific issues identified for purpose of us completing the works and the renovation of phase 1 of the project. Be specific to Honorable Seungu. Is it renovation or what? Or facelift? I confirm what we signed as a client with the Minister of Defense is the renovation of Nambole. No problem.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. And I thank you for responding to me very well. could you help this parliament get all certificates of completion that took place under the renovation by your company contractor known as UPDF as per the law of Uganda? Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I am aware once the project is completed, I would actually implore you, like you did direct, even if you need a forensic, even if you need a committee, we are welcome. Because as far as we are concerned, these are public funds. So Honorable Seungo, I want to confirm, can you permit me with permission of this August House that the work gets finished and we open up for scrutiny for purpose of seeing what this UPDF has done in Nambole, because there's nothing to hide. Number two, and the last one. First, if I answer, I want to begin with Honorable Dur. It is true, as far as CAF guidelines are concerned, they have specific guidelines on how they communicate to the respective federations for us to honor which area the game must be played. To them, they came, carried out inspection, and they have given us their findings. To me, who is a client and the responsible ministry, mine is to work on those issues. I am also going to write an appeal, which I want to thank in a special way the Right Honorable Speaker for personally getting involved, trying even to get the consent of the CAF president in person, and also making sure that HED president speaks to the CAF people for purposes of us making sure that trying to appeal to them to come back and carry out another inspection so that we can be able to play the game in Nambole. So for the decision of us saying that as far as where is the country going to play the next game, for me, I want to say mine is to concentrate at a certain level that we work on those impediments which had been identified to be corrected within the 2 weeks. If they agree to our proposal to ask them to come and carry out inspection, we will be most obliged. If they don't agree to that, then I'll come back to this August House and give a communication and have to work with the Federation of Uganda Football Association. It's not government who determines where the team must go. I want to remind this August House, you appropriated money for government to support the national teams of football. By the way, it is, even if it's playing outside Uganda, is the government money which facilitates the team to go and play. The last question, most obliged, my
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank the Honorable Gwang for giving way. Maybe in the future, as I raise the clarification, you should get use of UPDF who are here, because they do nothing apart from sitting. Since they are the ones constructing in the future, they should be of help as you're able to explain.
Yes, and what?
I have already said it, Madam Speaker.
They're doing nothing here. That's not engineering brigade.
They represent UPDF here. UPDF is the
There
one.
is an order from Afande. Please.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Is it in order for a member to display his ignorance of the difference between a member of parliament and a company of UPDF that contracted to construct the stadium?
The engineering brigade. That was an order. You know, we are all in a learning process. Actually, I didn't even know that you're not a member of engineering brigade. So we are all in a learning process. She's a member of parliament. There is a engineering brigade. There is an engineering brigade.
Madam Speaker, the clarification I am seeking.
Honorable members, you're here laboring when you have a member of football who should give you a better information. You're very lucky that I get my husband is here to give you information.
Can I complete the information I am seeking before your husband gives information? Madam Speaker, the Honorable Ogwang has stood here before, more than a year ago. I know, I mean, by NRM standards, maybe. But he said this stadium will be ready to host matches that we played in Algeria and other countries long ago. Now the same Honorable Ogwang is saying matters of where we play football is not his business. His business is superintend on UPDF to complete the facility. Can I ask, Madam Speaker, the clarification from him, whether this Ogwang I see here was the same Ogwang that gave this Honorable Ogwang? I am sorry. And he knows I don't mean bad. Whether this same Honorable Ogwang who told us the facility will be ready a year ago is the same Ogwang that he wants us to thank Honorable Ogwang. You know, I am used to him as a friend. You will excuse me. Whether it's the same Honorable Ogwang now saying, no, the where football will be played from is not my business. Is he the same minister that said this facility will be ready a year ago and it's not ready? And now he's saying where we play football from as a minister of government, it is not his business. It's clarification.
Madam Speaker, first of all, I don't want you to add words into my mouth, because you can go back to the answer which I said. I want to say the following. We are the ones who invited CAF. CAF has sent a report to us through the federation. By the way, I'm happy the president is here. He sent me the CAF report. We read it, and we are beginning to work on the issues CAF report identified as a client and a contractor. To be honest, we are trying our level best to make sure that we address those issues for purposes of us having the game being played at home. I have told you as Parliament that the Speaker has tried even to get in touch with the President to also talk to the CAF President. That's why the same FUFA President, who is a colleague here, also brought that as a second option for us to make sure that we address some of the issues raised, to make sure we appeal for whatever decisions which were picked, issues which were picked, for us to have the game at home. But nevertheless, I have said, in an event they don't agree to what appeals were giving, it's on record, it's government which facilitates the national team called the Cranes to play a game outside home because of the challenges of the renovations of the stadium. True, I made a statement. It is true. I'm the minister responsible for sports. I make that statement in line with the plans which have been laid out for purpose of completion of the stadium. But you've seen a delay which was caused by failing to release the balance of the money for the last 6 months. Is that Ogwang's problem? There was another problem which actually made us have a problem, which caused another delay. The Minister of Works, first of all, Honorable Semojo, that's his new constituency. That stadium is a plan of 1972. For the record, the Chinese built that stadium, gave us a grant. Getting the drawings of that stadium, it was a hassle. We had to, fortunately, Lamson is here. Do you know one officer was refusing to avail the drawings of that stadium for purposes of wanting government to pay him money? So these are some of the issues which are coming up, which have made the delays of the renovation of the stadium, not the contractor. The contractor was on site, ready to do the work. But the challenge has been some of the impediment. The last one is to address the question which my brother, Honorable Dur, raised. Honorable Dur, for your information, I did tell the people of Lango that I handed them first the contractor. The contractor agreed with me. They were sending a second technical team to go back to Lira to carry out what they call topographical survey, which I want to confirm. They have done it. When did they go within Lango there, within Akibwa Stadium? It was done within a period of the 1 week after our visit. I do not know if the contractor has to go there. They have to publicly make it that have gone back to Akibwa to begin doing his technical work. That's not for Guam. So I want to request, Madam Speaker, that for purposes of Akibwa, and I really want to appeal to my colleagues from Lango, government under the leadership of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is going to construct Akibwa Olympic Stadium. And that has been the long-awaited pledge for the people of Lango. It's on the hands of the government, and I'm working with the contractor to ensure that Akibwa Olympic Stadium is built. I thank you.
Honorable members, let's finish so that we go to the next item.
Right, Honorable Speaker, 2 points of clarification. The first one, under Article 3 of the regulations of CAF, there are 2 inspection regimes available. The first one is the member association. In this case, FOFA can do a pre-inspection report and report to them. And if they are satisfied, the stadium can be approved. So I want to know from you whether you have already invited the FOFA to do the pre-inspection report before you even think about it. No, yes, you will. You will. That's the first one. That's the first one. The second clarification, I don't like us going back and forth. And I'd ask that if possible, I would play the evidence of whatever you said in Lira. It seems that your memory has missed something. You did say.
Honorable members, the fact is Akibwa is going to be constructed. Whatever who said where, it is already in the budget. The money is in the budget, it's going to be constructed.
I want to answer a technical question which you asked. As of now, I am aware of that as far as the CAF guidelines are concerned, and we are working to address the issues which they raise before we communicate to FOFA, to ask them, to invite a technical person employed by them, trained by CAF to carry out an inspection. What would it add value to me that I've received money last evening? And I go ahead and invite the same person to come and carry out inspection when I've not addressed these challenges which have been identified? Can you help me? Give me a week or two. I finish doing on the work, issues that I raised. Then I now formally invite that person to come and carry out the inspection, communicate to the head office, while as government, we also use other procedures of trying to appeal to them to have the stadium inspected and accepted for purpose of us playing a game here. All I want to request your colleagues, friends, it is to all our best interest that the game is played at home. And we all want that to happen. What I ask, stand with me for all of us to do whatever it takes for us to have the UPDF Engineering Brigade now do whatever it takes to ensure whatever issues which were raised are addressed for us to have the game played at home. And that's what I want to call upon us. Sports unites all of us. And that is the purpose of sports in the world. I thank
There's Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, colleagues. I rise on your communication from the chair regarding traders, which has...
Can we finish football?
Football.
Let's finish sports, then we come there. Can I first hear from the FUFA president? Pardon?
Yeah. I wanted some small clarification, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. When you are communicating, you said that there are scrap buses there which might hinder the progress of the work. I'm wondering who owns those buses that they still...
You're going to get it in a report.
There.
We have a report to that effect.
I know that
we have a report.
Can I help?
We have a report to that effect. Can we... Can we hear from the FUFA president?
Right, Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker, colleagues, I would want to take this opportunity to provide a mention for the benefit of the discussion going on. First of all, to thank all the colleagues for the support you have given us as a sector. But most importantly, Honorable Dul has raised an issue of regulations, and these are laws and regulations as how CAF operates. And I want to confirm to this House that he is correct, that CAF has a minimum number of days when they are supposed to communicate where the games are going to be hosted. However, it is also true that CAF Executive Committee has the powers to override some of those provisions, and we have gone for this provision, engaged the CAF, because the way CAF operates is that they inspect the stadium according to the current status. And when they were here, the truth is that we could not have a match in the stadium because of the uncompleted works. The uncompleted works, if you go to Nambole today and you take a selfie, it looks good. But for a football match to be played, there are certain technical issues that must be accomplished. For example, even the substitute benches have not been put. So it could be good looking everything very well, but until it is put and the inspector ticks the box that a match can take place at that moment. So when CAF was here, the inspection they did, it was not practical that a football match could take place. Our appeal to CAF is that they exercise the executive powers of CAF such that they can allow because the way CAF operates is that they inspect the stadium according to the current status. And when they were here, the truth is that we could not have a match in the stadium because of the uncompleted works. The uncompleted works, if you go to Nambole today and you take a selfie, it looks good. But for a football match to be played, there are certain technical issues that must be accomplished. For example, even the substitute benches have not been put. So it could be good looking everything very well, but until it is put and the inspector ticks the box that a match can take place at that moment. So when CAF was here, the inspection they did, it was not practical that a football match could take place. Our appeal to CAF is that they exercise the executive powers of CAF such that they can allow us to be able to complete the work as the Honorable Minister has explained, and then do the inspection again. So that we could have a chance to host our games at home. CAF operates in such a way that you must enter, and it is a computer system, where you are going to host the games from. And that is supposed to be done 75 days before the match, which we did not do as a federation because Mandela National Stadium was not active in the system to be picked because it had not yet been approved. And according to practice at CAF, they automatically, if you don't mention where you are going to host the games, they mention it for you. And in this case, the last place we played our games is Morocco. I would not be surprised if CAF came out and fixed our games. That is in case they do not accept us to be able to be inspected and to pass the stadium that we would be hosting our games automatically in Morocco come June. Right on, our Speaker and colleagues, allow me use a few minutes to explain the smaller picture and the bigger picture.
Thank you very much, President. The clarification I am seeking is where government consults you, because you've said they called the inspectors, well knowing that work was incomplete. Now they are all over the planet. His Excellency must be involved, his family, to call CAF. Do they consult you such that we don't make the same mistakes of inviting of inviting inspectors before they work.
Thank you very much, Mr. Former President. Further clarify on that, we recently saw the completion of Nachivubo Stadium, and we celebrated as Ugandans to say that we have another facility where such matches can be hosted. My question is, when Nachivubo was being constructed, was there technical advice to the extent that we can host a match that magnitude?
Honorable Speaker, in my second submission, which I was seeking, was the smaller picture and the bigger picture. And in that explanation, it would cover the questions that are being raised. First and foremost, the way the civil engineering projects are structured is that there is a client, there is a contractor, there is a consultant. In this case, the Ministry of Defense is the contractor and the Ministry of Works is the consultant. And the challenge we have is that the consultant should have the expertise to advise the contractor to do the right things. And I'm on record, and I want to go on record again, that to construct a stadium is a specialized type of engineering that requires expertise. And if you don't have this expertise, you should hire the people who have the expertise. And this is common practice. There's no one who has expertise in as far as stadium construction is concerned in this country better than the federation and therefore CAF, because the CAF and FIFA work through federations. The way these projects are designed, the way these projects have been executed as if they are the usual civil engineering projects. We have made an appeal that for construction of stadiums as a federation, we get involved right from the beginning to advise, to be able to not make the mistakes that have been made. Even Mandela National Stadium is looking good. In the remaining days, the money committed can make us be able to play at home, but there were still mistakes done simply because of the lack of the expertise of the consultants, because the contractors basically follow what the consultants design and eventually advise. I would therefore like to appeal to this August House that such projects that are specialized, and we are the people that CAF works through, as we have seen, the inspection is done by us first and then eventually done by CAF. It will only be proper because there's a lot of construction of stadiums that is going on by private sector and also by government. That it becomes a practice that we are involved as a federation to advise such that we do not get some of the challenges. To be specific about Nachivubo, we were not consulted, and the CAF has done an inspection and it has a report about the stadium. And as we speak today, we can still not be able to host an international game there until certain things are done in accordance with the standards. I beg to move.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, first of all, I'd like to thank the President of the Federation, let me call him Honorable Moses Magogo Salongo, for the information he has given. But there are certain things which I'll be forced to go on record because he's my brother and I'm happy he has raised certain things as far as the consultations are concerned. And I want us to listen to each other because I must answer the statement he has made as the Minister of Sports. Number one, the entire renovation of Nambole will be working with the Federation. Yes, I'm first beginning with specifically Nambole, the Federation of Uganda Football Association. That's why I am saying I am here. Fortunately, he's here, I'm also here. Number two, police members, listen to me. Number two, why am I bringing this forward? I am aware that they have the expertise. That's true.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Minister, why I sent my advanced team was on a fact finding. And we should be able to get that information. From the report that is going to be presented. Let's get that, because I don't want you people to look ugly between yourselves. You look very ugly. So let's get it from let's get it from the report. Let's get it from the report. There was a question that was before we come to the issue of the traders. There was a question asked. There was a question asked by Honorable Tebandeke. There was a question asked by Honorable Tebandeke on yes. Are we going to finish today?
Madam Speaker, the minister has just told Parliament that the former president has told a very big lie. That's what the minister has said. And this matter remains on the answer. If the former president has told a lie, can he withdraw and apologize?
I am saying, let's hear the report from Nambole, and then we'll know who is correct. Let's get the report and know. Honorable members, the issue I want to hear, there is a matter that was raised by Tebandeke. There is a matter that was raised by Tebandeke about Honorable Kimosho.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The matter raised by the Honorable Tebandeke accrues from the last week's sitting, where I raised on a point of order in this house. And my point of order was very clear on Honorable Theodore Sechkubo, that I have from time to time seen and heard in the news that he's a land grabber and as such facilitates land grabbers in his area. Unfortunately, when I had raised the matter, at the same time, I had a meeting of physical infrastructure that I was chairing. And I had to rush there because the minister and the UNRA had already entered. So it is not true that after making the statement, I ran away. Let me finish. I want to be categorical that if there is any clarifications as he imputed here that I need substantiate, I would request that when he's in the house, he becomes clear on what he wants me to substantiate, and I will do. What I also want is that he referred to me as a hatchet man. But I almost got angry, because people use the language that they comedy. So, remembering the videos I've seen and what he's alleged to be doing, I felt maybe he's in the business of hiring hatchet men. And that's what informed his calling me of a hatchet man, because that is his language on a daily basis. That is my assumption. I would still want to go into that when he's here.
Thank you. So what we can do, we'll wait for Honorable.
When he's here, Right Honorable Speaker, let him be on record on what he wants me to substantiate. I will substantiate. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, we will wait for Honorable Seji to be here. And I want to re-echo this to I want to re-echo this. Honorable members, I want to re-echo this to my boss, the leader of opposition. As a leader who enjoyed to lead by example. This house is guided by rules, and the rules are guiding principles. If, in the opinion and judgment of a presiding officer, the member holding the floor is acting in a total disregard of the rules and guidelines of the presiding officer, the presiding officer has a humble prerogative to guide the House, as I did when Honorable Sechku did in total disregard to the Speaker's guidance. Even you, as a leader of opposition, my boss, when I tell you, leader of opposition, sit, you do. You've never fight it. Never. And I must really thank you for that. And going forward, I want to request and urge members to always comply with the guidance and the ruling of a presiding officer to avoid bringing integrity and sanity, for us to bring integrity and sanity to the House. Instead of bringing disrepute to respect for each other. Because if you're not talking, if I am telling you sit down, it is very simple. Common knowledge that even my small Valongo will understand. If I tell Tenua sit, Tenua will sit. Workers, traders, there's a trader there. No, let's get.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, in the first session of this House of the 11th Parliament, this House resolved that government comes up with a comprehensive, documented taxation policy. And Right Honorable Speaker, as per Rule 220 of our Rules of Procedure, the executive has to come with the action taken on the resolution of Parliament. Since the first session, we have not heard anything from the executive. Right Honorable Speaker, this August House has been tirelessly working on the issues of taxation. In the motion that was moved here, we had issues to address, like a deepening and widening the tax base. Right now, Right Honorable Speaker, if every tax to be introduced, for example, taxing in weight and others, is to be put on the same traders, we shall not help the economy from getting money. Right Honorable Speaker, in my communication with one of the taxpayers, traders downtown, who are my friends, they informed me another reason for their demonstration. Right Honorable Speaker, the properties of those people downtown are being taken by money lenders. And this House has been receiving, debating the State of the Nation address year in, year out. And one of the strategic bottlenecks, the high cost of credit, the turnaround time with the commercial banks, all those problems which force traders to go to money lenders and get money, even at 120% interest rate. Yeah. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to request this House that the executive come up with the progress of the taxation policy, because it solves all the problems these support traders are talking about. Two, Right Honorable Speaker, I would request that this House, since we are undergoing the budgeting process, let us consider capitalizing public banks so that they can have enough money so that they can have the capacity of controlling the market, the banking market. Right, Honorable Speaker, in the region, in East Africa, Tanzania, public banks are leading the market by 27%. Kenya, public banks are leading the market by 21%. Here in Uganda, public banks are leading the market by only 7%. How are we going to control the interest rate?
Then the long term, which is phase 3, costing 108 billion, 540
made by the minister will allow an update to this house by the commissioner, and that is pursuant to Rule 54(1) of the Rules of Procedure. I now invite the commissioner to give.
Byebyo ebya ssaawa kyennambole mubiwulidde bulungi era mubitegedde engeri ensimbi y'omuwoomusolo gyezze egolongotana mwana nawali nga balirira bitagwande kulirira nga bazzeegabira bazikola bazisano bazisa wali bawondo bawooli byampuna byonna tubikwasa mukama tulinde ekinaddirira essaawa kye bali bawadde omwaka guwedde kubanga kiwedde paka tekinnagwa naye bekwasiza kino nakiri ne basuubiza nti nno kijja kuggwa kuba kati Uganda yagobeddwa almost mu mpira gya Africa kuba tinawe ekyaziza terina home ne gye babadde basabye okusambira ttiimu zaaganye fes tusambire eyo twagala wa mu Uganda kati nno n'owulira embaga byonna katubirinde mbaagala nnyo mwenna omukama Katonda bankuumire tujja kuba tuddamu mweraba.